In the buzz now at 9, what's in a name, huh? They're really asking that question in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It all started when the city asked residents to weigh in on what to name their new City Hall building. Well, there was an overwhelming response in favor of one name. Fort Wayne residents want the building named after a beloved mayor. His name, and we're not making this up, okay? Harry Baals. That's B-A-A-L-S. Well, joining us on the phone now at 9, current Mayor Tom Henry. And Mr. Mayor, you and I go a long way back. I lived in Fort Wayne for several years. I worked there as a reporter at the ABC station, so it's good to have you on the phone with us.
We all remember and miss you, Brian.
I miss you, too.
Nice.
Now, I need to ask, set this up for us. You went on over the Internet and you asked the residents there of the Summit City to vote on a name, right? And there were a few names offered up?
That is correct. We are moving from our current city-county building into another building which will house the administrative offices of the city and the county. And rather than call that building the city-county building because there would be some confusion, we decided to ask the general public to consider some names or possible names for the new building. And we did it over the web. We had a site called Feedback Fort Wayne. And we began to receive a number of suggestions, and then people could also vote on those names that were already submitted. And our former beloved mayor received a number of votes, and it continued to the point where it went beyond Fort Wayne and Allen County to throughout the state, throughout the country, and in fact internationally.
And so, what's it going to look like? Are we going to go with this name here?
Well, we have a couple of concerns about the name. I did not know the mayor. My parents did, and in fact, he was a very progressive mayor and did a lot of great things for our city. So from that perspective, I have absolutely no problem with it. However, there are a couple of challenges. One is he was a former mayor of Fort Wayne, and this particular building will house city and county offices. Mm-hmm. We don't want to forget the fact the county commissioners, the county council, other elected county officials will be in that building. And we don't want to, diss them. So we have to be sensitive to their presence.
Right. And we cannot forget, we can't overlook that the name is creating or causing a few chuckles.
Well, there's no question about that. We've had a lot of fun with. There's no Harry. Harry was really, as I mentioned, was a great mayor. But we have been talked about on a number of nighttime television shows. Jimmy Kimmel had quite a lot of fun with us.
I bet.
As did some of the other talk show hosts. We've been literally on a number of radio shows. Even Rush Limbaugh himself mentioned us. So we've had quite a bit of attention paid to our city. The interesting thing is I've been trying very hard, as has our chamber and others, to get our name known throughout the country. Well, obviously, it's been done.
It's done. I really quickly, Mayor, thank you first off for joining us. Vicki Hunt, we're a social media show here. She asked a question on Facebook. She says, she said, I don't understand why they don't just name it the Baals Center and be done with it. Harold shouldn't be denied the honor because of his name.
I'll put that on the list.
Just the Baals Center.
Yeah, the Baals Center.
What do you think about that? When is this decision going to be made, do you think?
Actually, we have closed down the site because we did receive hundreds of names, and as I mentioned, a lot of people voted on various names. We've now taken those names and we're going through them, and those that were suggested but were really not appropriate. For instance, several people, in fact, 20 people out of the 20,000 or so did suggest the building be named after me. So, but unfortunately, with only 20 votes, I don't think that's going to go anywhere.
Well, Mayor Henry, thank you so much.
In fact, that's another reason why we got a challenge with our former mayor's name, is because we don't have any buildings in downtown Fort Wayne that were named after a former mayor.
Sure.
And if we start that, we may really begin to run into some problems with other mayors' families.
Well, to put it all in perspective, again, this was a very well-respected man. And, hey, if it gets a couple chuckles along the way, what's wrong with that?
Mayor Tom Henry on the phone with us. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for your time.
Mayor of Fort Wayne, Indiana, home to one of the best minor league baseball teams and minor league hockey teams in the country, the Tin Caps, the Comets, and
I'm sure they appreciate the shout-out.
Yes, the resting spot to Johnny Appleseed.
All righty. Well, thank you so much. That was very interesting. We're still scratching our heads.
I know.
How you came up with that.